We are mobilizing almost $800 million worth of investment, which will come from public sector and private sector both, to help Africa enter the digital revolution. It's a historic initiative that he launched today in front of 40 odd heads of government and leaders from Africa, and many of the companies both from Africa and the U.S. So there are three aspects to developing the digital economy in Africa, what will be addressed with this initiative. Number one, it is about connectivity. We know there have been some improvements, obviously, with mobile connectivity, but we still have ways to go. Our numbers we've heard is 450 million people in Africa still do not have internet connectivity, and that's a significant number. We will see a whole lot of investment to make sure that countries across Africa get to have an open, interoperable, secure, and reliable internet. So that's our commitment. Number two, it is about developing the human capital. Before I joined the administration, I was in the tech world, and I know firsthand that without having a proper human talent, tech talent, you cannot really do justice to being a formidable player in the digital economy. So we are committing to supporting development of talent, especially women, and especially folks in underserved regions across Africa. And the third is making sure that we can facilitate an environment where digital economy can thrive. The reality is that you have to really modernize your operating framework as societies. You have to develop IP regulations. You have to develop regulations, let's say, for fintech. And we know there are countries like Kenya, for example, who have done really well, where half the GDP processes through M-Pesa because they have define how a fintech would operate. So you need those kind of things defined all across the continent for it to really be able to embrace the digital economy. So this initiative, which is a significant investment, $350 million coming from the USG support across all of our agencies, and $450 million that will be mobilized through private sector, but it's designed to address all three aspects so that we can help Africa enter the digital age.
So when will this initiative take off, and what will be its lifespan, and will there be mechanisms to monitor the progress of it?
Yeah, so I would say parts of it's already happening. So the good news is we have a number of places where we have active deals that are led by DFC, Development Finance Corporation. One example, AfricaCell. DFC is supporting a $100 million investment with AfricaCell to upgrade its mobile networks in Congo and Sierra Leone. There is $300 million worth of investment for data centers in South Africa. So those are significant initiatives, Peter. Now, obviously, we need partners on the other end for us to quickly identify projects, make sure we have capacity of folks who are my counterparts on the other end for us to bring this investment online. Lifespan is, look, we would love to do this soon, but this is massive, ambitious initiative, and there is an uneven plane in terms of capacity of various governments. So we're going to have to see where we can go first and what we need to develop. But of course, you can think of it as a long, sustained partnership to make sure that the entire continent comes online the way it should be. We recognize that Africa is not a monolith. There are countries that are much farther along, and other countries are not. You've seen the president has been very intentional about making sure that we are serving the underserved as well. So we don't want to just focus on a few countries. We want to make sure that we show up in places that have been left behind. And so, I can see it as a mid to long-term effort.